Trade rumors: Kris Versteeg could swap jerseys with Travis Zajac in Leafs-Devils deal. Rumors about a potential trade between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New Jersey Devils continue to gain traction. Multiple media outlets have reported that the Devils are interested in Leafs forward Kris Versteeg, while Travis Zajac is being touted as the main trade chip for a possible deal. Zajac, who has been linked to Toronto for several months, could finally fill the hole at center that the Leafs have been looking to address. So far this season, the Devils forward has totaled 6 goals and 21 points, trailing Versteeg's 10 goals and 25 points. However, it's important to consider that Zajac is playing for an underperforming Devils squad. The player has previously posted 2 60-plus point seasons before the 2010-11 campaign, highlighting his potential in better conditions. The Devils could also include a mid-round draft pick as part of the deal, adding further value to the package heading Toronto's way. The potential trade has divided fans. In a recent poll from ABOR article, over 750 fans voted, with results showing an almost even split. About 50% prefer Versteeg, while the other 50% believe Zajac would be a more valuable addition to the Leafs. While there's no official confirmation yet, the connection between Zajac and Toronto seems to be gaining momentum. If the deal goes through, it could prove to be a turning point for both teams this season. Kris Versteeg, who has been a consistent performer for the Leafs this season with 10 goals and 25 points, is seen as an appealing target for the Devils, who are in desperate need of offensive production. The Devils, struggling to find consistency this season, view Versteeg as a potential solution to their scoring woes. On the other side, Travis Zajac, despite a slower year with 6 goals and 21 points, brings a strong two-way game and experience as a top-line center. His previous 60-plus point campaigns demonstrate his ability to produce at an elite level when given the right support. For the Leafs, acquiring Zajac could finally give them the reliable center they've been searching for to complement their lineup. One intriguing aspect of this potential trade is the inclusion of a mid-round draft pick from the Devils. Such an addition could sweeten the deal for Toronto, giving them a valuable asset for future rebuilding or trade scenarios. The Leafs management has shown interest in balancing immediate improvement with long-term planning, and this element could fit into their strategy. Fan reactions to this rumor have been polarized. Some see Versteeg as a crucial piece for Toronto, citing his strong offensive stats and versatility on the ice. Others, however, argue that Zajac's potential to elevate his play in a new environment makes him worth the gamble, especially if paired with a draft pick. The Devils' interest in Versteeg highlights their willingness to shake things up after an underwhelming season. Adding a player with Versteeg's experience and skill set could energize their lineup and bring much-needed leadership to the locker room. Meanwhile, for Zajac, a move to Toronto could represent a fresh start and a chance to rediscover his form on a team with playoff aspirations. The Leafs, sitting in a competitive position, have to weigh the pros and cons of this deal carefully. While Versteeg has been a key contributor, Zajac's potential to fill a critical void at center could make this trade a smart move for their postseason ambitions. Interestingly, this isn't the first time Zajac's name has been linked to Toronto. For months, speculation has swirled about the Leafs' interest in him, and now it seems those talks could finally lead to action. With both teams under pressure to improve, the timing feels right for a bold move. Another factor to consider is the chemistry each player could bring to their new teams. Versteeg's offensive instincts could blend well with the Devils' star players, while Zajac's defensive reliability and playmaking abilities might fit seamlessly into Toronto's system. As trade rumors continue to swirl, the clock is ticking for both teams to finalize a deal before the deadline. Whether this potential swap comes to fruition or remains a tantalizing what-if, it's clear that the stakes are high for both the Leafs and the Devils in their quest for success this season. The potential trade involving Kris Versteeg and Travis Zajac is a complex scenario, with both teams having a lot to gain and potentially a lot to lose. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, trading away Versteeg would mean giving up a reliable contributor who has proven his worth offensively. However, the opportunity to acquire Zajac, a skilled center with strong defensive instincts, might outweigh the immediate loss. Zajac's performance this season has been underwhelming, but it's difficult to ignore his previous successes. His back-to-back 60-plus point seasons prior to 2010-11 serve as a reminder of his capability when surrounded by the right supporting cast. Moving to Toronto could provide him with a fresh environment and new opportunities to regain his form. For the New Jersey Devils, the trade represents a chance to rejuvenate their roster and address their offensive struggles. Versteeg's consistent scoring touch and ability to make plays under pressure could be exactly what the Devils need to spark their season. His experience in playoff situations also adds value, as the Devils look to climb back into contention. From a strategic standpoint, Toronto's interest in Zajac makes sense. The team has long sought to solidify its center depth, and Zajak's defensive reliability would bring balance to a forward group that already boasts dynamic offensive talent. His ability to win faceoffs and play a responsible two-way game aligns with the Leafs' needs. The inclusion of a mid-round draft pick from the Devils adds another layer of intrigue to this potential deal. Draft picks are valuable currency in the NHL, and securing one could help the Leafs in future trade negotiations or prospect development. It's a calculated move that could pay dividends down the road. Fans from both sides are keeping a close eye on developments, and the debate over the potential trade continues to rage. Leafs supporters are torn between holding onto Versteeg's scoring ability and acquiring a more well-rounded player in Zajac. Meanwhile, Devils fans are weighing the benefits of adding Versteeg against the risk of losing Zajac's leadership and experience. The timing of these rumors is critical, as both teams face mounting pressure to improve before the trade deadline. For the Devils, the move could signify a shift toward rebuilding, while for the Leafs, it represents a push for deeper playoff success. The urgency surrounding the trade makes it all the more compelling. Both teams will also need to consider the financial implications of the deal. Zajac's contract carries a significant cap hit, which could impact Toronto's long-term planning. Conversely, Versteeg's more affordable deal might appeal to the Devils, providing them with flexibility for future moves. Beyond the immediate impact on the ice, this trade could set the tone for future negotiations between the Leafs and Devils. If successful, it might establish a precedent for further collaboration between the two franchises. If not, it could leave both teams wondering what could have been. As the trade deadline approaches, all eyes are on the general managers of both teams. Will they pull the trigger on a deal that could reshape their rosters? Or will these rumors fade into the background as another missed opportunity? The next few days will be crucial in determining the fate of Versteeg, Zajac, and their respective teams. The potential Kris Versteeg-Travis Zajac trade has also sparked discussions about the broader strategies of both franchises. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, the move would indicate a clear focus on addressing their need for depth down the middle. The Leafs have historically struggled with consistency at center, and Zajac's arrival could stabilize their roster in a way that boosts their playoff ambitions. For the New Jersey Devils, parting with Zajac would be a significant decision. He has been a cornerstone of the team for years, and trading him away would signify a shift in philosophy. This move could be the first step in a larger restructuring effort as the Devils look to revamp their roster and find new ways to compete. Another consideration for the Devils is how Versteeg would fit into their lineup. Known for his offensive creativity and versatility, Versteeg could play a variety of roles, from boosting the top six to mentoring younger players. His presence could inject new energy into a team struggling to find its rhythm this season. One of the most intriguing aspects of this potential trade is the impact it could have on both players' careers. Versteeg, at 24, is entering the prime of his career and could thrive in a new environment. Meanwhile, Zajac, 25, is still young enough to make a significant impact on the Leafs, especially if he rediscovers his scoring touch and builds chemistry with Toronto's talented wingers.